go. Hello, everybody. We are now officially live. I apologize. It took a minute. My life is kind of a mess today. It's fine. It's all good.
All
so,
will be
yeah.
well.
Wrong game. So, hello, everyone. Undead K here. And tonight we are playing session 2 of 3 for the Rise of Rosie. We are using a system called the Happiest Apocalypse on Earth, which is a Powered by the Apocalypse game. It is awesome. It's basically what would it look like if a Disney adjacent, legally distinct theme park met Eldritch Terrors and some horror elements. And yeah, it's been great fun so far. I'll kind of go over what we did last time after a few announcements. So, our first announcement is that you can purchase merchandise for Nerds with Dice now. It's awesome. They've got like t-shirts and a few other things. I'm looking at getting a t-shirt myself. They've got like the logo where it's got like, the words written around it. It's great. Definitely check that out. I have shared the link in the chat. Also, so did you, Star. So I appreciate that. Everybody gets it. Yeah, so definitely recommend checking that out. And our second announcement is that Nerds with Dice is now an affiliate with Grinding Coffee Company. You can, in fact, use um, the link provided and get yourself 10% off a bag of fancy coffee. So, definitely recommend checking that out as well. I'm looking at getting some eventually, but I've got to figure things out first. Before I dive too much further, let's go ahead and introduce our players this evening. Let's start with you, Star. Who are you? Who are you playing?
Hello, I'm Star. I use she, they pronouns. You can find me on the internet as Mad Rad Starchild. And tonight I will be playing Marguerite Delaney, Princess of Dusk, the goth princess face character of the park, who also uses she, they pronouns.
Yeah, our goth princess. Can't find anyone better, especially not at Disney World. All right, our second player of the evening. Rain, you somehow always end up in the middle, so I'm actually going to try to change it up and say attired by. Who are you? Who are you playing? Tell us things.
Hi, I am Attire By. I use I use she, her pronouns, and I am playing as Kevin Merlot, little the little happy go lucky soul who unfortunately has a job at a place filled with eldritch horrors apparently. And his pronouns are he, him. Also, did I like cut out for you guys, by the way?
You did for like brief little instances, but I think you got most of what you've been saying words and stuff through. So,
Okay, because I noticed that I suddenly got a big pop-up saying your internet connection is unstable. So I got very confused.
yeah, I think it picked up, and I mean, yeah, I heard everything. If you wanted to say real fast, just to double check, feel
Uh,
free. But I heard everything, so.
mm-hmm. Okay, I'll just continue then. You can find me over on the Undead K Zone channel every second Thursday, or Thursday, including the Thursday coming up, where we play Curse of Strahd Barovian Days. There I play as Zatari, the ASMR Bard. I nearly gave away her last name there. Uh, and she is a definitely a delight to play, and I do miss her. Uh, and also, even though we're on hiatus at the moment, I am part of a game over on the Bardic Nox channel called Final Fantasy Rebels of Spira, based off of the Final Fantasy D6 system. Uh, I was
And hopefully we can return to that because I miss playing own my own little edgy goth mom. I
Okay.
miss Lilith a lot. I also miss my whip sword.
That's
Oh,
unrelated.
it's a whole nother story.
I missed my whip sword.
All right. So diving or moving right along. Rain, you are not stuck in the middle this time. Who are you? Who are you playing? Tell us things.
I am Rain Hayes, and as far as where you can find me, probably on Discord if I'm paying attention, as Rain does. Um, Otherwise, really nowhere. I make products on the DM's Guild. That's where you can find me. And I'm playing Dominic Gray, who is just lost. he, he's lost and very confused,
He came
and
for
just
a
kind of
party
going with it.
Came
He was
for
supposed to be
thing.
part of a group. The group consisted of him and two other people that already worked there.
Yeah.
Lost his sister. He uses any pronouns, which probably just adds to his confusion. And he lost his cell phone.
He did.
Most
His
importantly,
cell
he
phone-
lost his
He
cell
got
phone.
Well,
stabbed
now-
with a sword.
Now he's a little worried because he can't call his sister.
Wait, was it a Nokia phone? Because it might have survived.
No, it
was
was a
ran
smartphone.
straight through with a sword.
But if it's Nokia,
If it's Nokia, it would work. You just wouldn't be able to see the screen very well.
Oh, he gave me kisses.
oh,
This squirrel wants to love.
squirrel.
Speaking of Discord and all of that, Nerds with Dice has a Discord, and you can find that info in their little about me, and it's a great community. Definitely recommend checking it out. I think everybody here is a part of it, and it's all good times. And yeah, thank you ATB for posting the link to the Discord in the chat. I guess I should say who I am real fast. Or what I do on interwebs. I have my own Twitch channel that's been kind of quiet, save for our consistent Curse of Strahd game that has actually remained consistent. Shockingly. But it's going really well. We're getting close to session 30 and avoiding the main plot. That's fine, as one does. And I should be getting back into streaming here in a little bit. I've just kind of been adjusting to school stuff. You can also find me here on Tuesdays. We've kind of taken an unexpected hiatus because real life is a thing, but you can find me on Nerds with Dice on Tuesdays playing Kingdom Hearts Dreams of Nobodies. We're just a bunch of nobodies doing something, and it's good stuff. A lot of fun, and hopefully we can get back to that soon. And yeah, so that's me and where I'm going. Come on, kitty. Find a spot and stay in the spot.
And also, our special guest is Squirrel.
This is Squirrel. He sees me sitting at a desk and says that I have to hold him. So this is my lot in life. But he loves it. See, he's happy. But yeah, so let's go ahead and kind of go over what happened last time on Rise of Rosie. So, basically, just to really quickly summarize, everybody kind of got divvied up into groups for a special event held on the last night, Halloween night, of the Rosie's Not So Frightful Halloween Fest. There were a group of guests who had all won a contest and found themselves invited to spend the night at the main theme park. And each guest was actually each guest was basically divvied into groups, and those groups were kind of put it with pairs of employees that aren't really quite at full status. Like, they're employed and they're, seen as full, but there's these mysterious meetings and all these other things that they can't attend. But they were promised that if they get through the night, everything, and give the guests, the time of their lives or a night that they will never forget, then they would be considered part of the family, essentially. And from there, they decided to go to the Haunted Palace, whereas most of the groups had more guests. Some math was really on my shoulder. This is, yeah. You threw me off. Rude. Anyway. So essentially, everybody kind of was like, whereas every other employee duo had like 10 to 15 guests, numbers were apparently off, even though there's no mistakes at Druid's Dream World. And somehow it ended up with 2 employees, 1 guest, and they went to the Haunted Palace, and things got weird. Very weird.
Very weird.
Very weird. It seemed that the animatronics came to life, were, flesh and blood. The ride halted, ground to a halt, lights went off, and essentially in order to escape the ride, the group had to find the Countess's heart, Countess von Hausen. They succeeded with cleverness, and when they left, Kevin did try to radio in and was essentially told, survive the night, give the guests a night they won't forget, happy Halloween. And then it went into radio static, and that's where we left off. So group, that's where we left off. Kevin, how you doing?
Kevin very confused. This was never in any of the pamphlets, the classes, the monthly brunches that all the maintenance people would go to at insert legally distinct pizza place here.
That's
Joe's
literally
Pizza.
The name. No, it's literally called.
Joe's Pizza, made with his finest oil.
Oh my gosh, I know what you're Okay, I'll have to share that in the Discord later.
Anyway, Kevin kind of a bit freaked out, just kind of looks back at Gray and Marguerite and is like, well, don't think we're gonna get any help from maintenance. All I really got was very cryptic, survived the night, happy Halloween. And then this. And he just holds up his little radio as static just pours out.
So, survive the night. So this is supposed to be like a haunted event?
Maybe.
It does kind of make sense. It's Halloween.
I mean, maybe this is some sort of elaborate show by the people. Like, oh no, maybe it's like thinking of this in like an optimistic view. Let's go with optimistic first. Maybe this is some sort of elaborate show that the people in the secret meetings are holding. And maybe the people in the haunted house got carried away, but at the same time...
I mean, carried away is a word. 2 words, technically. I
mean, I'm trying to be optimistic, so it's really like a underestimation? Underestimation. Is that a word? No, it is.
Oversimplification?
That's also a word. That's probably the word I was thinking of. Thank you.
I mean, it's one thing to be enthusiastic. It's another to have a sword capable of cutting through a cell phone.
Yeah, that's true.
It's somebody in the props department had made a decision there.
You also cut out bit
I
there,
think
Rain.
it might have cut out on your end.
Oh.
You just went a little robot-y.
Oh, I did?
Yeah, it's okay.
Oh no.
I know you're on internet or college internet. It's
Yeah.
broke too.
College internet, just as drunk as the people. No.
I mean, I've heard people going up and down to hallways, so who knows?
It's Saturday night.
I mean, if it would be one thing if it was just the sword, but that axe went by my head and embedded itself in things. A prop axe wouldn't be able to do that.
That is true.
I will say, having been in character before, it is sometimes easy to fall into character deeply and forget about real life for a little bit. But I don't think those were necessarily props.
Well, that's why I'm saying that if this is all just a grandstand, then somebody in the props department made a decision because they weren't getting into character. They were just handing out tools.
Very true.
I'm kind of worried that my sister might have run into something similar based on somebody else's decision, and now I can't call her.
Well, if you get extra concerned, I can make an alert over the PA system, although I don't think I will be able to do that more than once. So perhaps at some point, if we want to find a rendezvous point, maybe near the entrance or the information desk, I can make an announcement and call for her.
Well, for right now, maybe we can just run into her going to the next area.
Yeah, like, plus I feel like staying in one place might not be the wisest of decisions, so. Plus, also, if we go to different areas, that also brings more chances of meeting others as well.
As if it felt like a narratively appropriate time for this event to occur, you hear screaming in the distance.
Is this happy screaming?
It's scared screaming.
Oh,
Of course. Well, should we investigate that?
Instinct says run away, but I'm not sure where run away would take me. So yeah,
yeah. I
It's like-
think we should go towards the screaming.
let's ignore instinct and common sense and go do that.
Listen, we can just do it from like a safe enough distance and see if it's something. So if it's safe, and if it's not, then I don't know. Hope that this isn't like a Hollywood movie and we're all gonna be the first victims.
I mean, if this is a horror movie, you're probably going to be the first.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna be the first to die.
Oh, love it. Okay. So you're attempting to find the screams?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay.
I might have a move for that.
If you've got a move for that, because the closest I can see in the basic moves would be like either dig a little deeper or find something that wasn't there before.
So basically, I'm calling the screams my destination, and
Oh.
I'll use find the second star to the right.
All right, give me a roll.
Once again, have to make sure that I am on the appropriate screen.
Yeah.
That's a 10.
Okay. Let me double check. Second star to the right real fast. That is, so you can ask or hold 2 questions.
Okay. First question. path of least resistance, and I'm going to hold my second question.
Path of least resistance, and you're trying to like ascertain like the general area. Okay. It takes you a minute. You kind of focus, and a lot of the screaming is kind of like bouncing off because the park is pretty empty. Yes, there are a couple of hundred people there, but this park is massive. It's designed for like thousands to be there at a one time. It sounds like it could be coming from, let me zoom out here, this direction. Frontier, or SteamTown. Not Frontierland, because this is not...
This is wrong. This is all wrong. I had the map upside down.
What is life?
Why am I looking at the back of the map? There's nothing there.
Oh.
So yeah, it sounds like it's coming in from the general direction of SteamTown.
Well, based on the numerous routes and informations that was stored on my phone provided by the park as a season pass holder that I no longer have but conveniently memorized, we go that way.
Yeah, and I mean it's a pretty easy to get there through one of the spokes, which is the path of least resistance typically.
So we should start heading that way.
Yeah, I guess. What did you say that you had that helped you figure out where that was?
Well, it was a cell phone.
Oh. I mean, I guess that makes sense.
What item did you pick when you told the person running the gift shop at the Haunted Palace?
I was given a complimentary Zippo.
Complimentary Zippo.
Sorry,
It
your
is
cell
a
phone
haunted-
broke. Here's a Zippo.
It is a haunted Zippo. It produces green flame, is
I
what I'm
love
saying.
I love it.
Because that's actually very easy to do if you know chemistry.
Mm-hmm. Okay, awesome. So, did anybody want to say or do anything, or do you all just want to like head that way?
I feel like Marguerite would just kind of describe what SteamTown is like on the way there.
We may be
Okay.
going into imminent danger, but my job is secure.
So is that you asking, hey DM, what's SteamTown like?
Sure.
Okay, so Marguerite, you basically described that SteamTown is essentially a steampunk meets Wild West land of sorts, filled with air balloons. There are rides like the Crafty Kraken that acts sort of like a tilt-a-whirl. However, it takes you up in the air and kind of like whips you around a bit. There's food. There's a little cafe. You know, it just has this like really neat steampunk aesthetic. There is also a ride, probably one of the most popular rides at in SteamTown would be the Buccaneers of the Sky, which is sort of like a dark ride, but it is a walk-through rather than a ride-through. So yeah. And are you explaining this like as you walk and talk?
Yeah. For
Okay.
efficiency's sake.
As we're walking, I'm going to just quickly review the pictures I have on my camera so that I can use that for a move later.
Okay, so you're reviewing the pictures. Any particular, like, what kind of pictures are on your camera?
So there are several kind of panorama pictures of like the entrance and the larger attractions and kind of the crowd dispersing. And then there are closer up pictures of some of the actors that I caught as I was going by, or the people that were manning the stations at the haunted house ride. And then there were some pictures of items that we saw in the haunted house, including the heart.
Oh, so you have a picture of the heart, which is something that was not even, because that prop never worked properly, doesn't actually, exist for most people. Most people haven't actually seen it, so who knows what you could do with that later. So yeah, as you all walk through the park, you get close to the gate, and you see, it's kind of a very rustic wooden gate, and it says, come down to SteamTown, and SteamTown's written in much bigger letters, and they all have a brassy, hammered brass look about them. Marguerite, you actually catch a glimpse out of your eye of one of the princesses that you assume was just scheduled to work. You catch somebody wearing a dress for Princess Cinder.
Oh, that looks like one of my colleagues. I wonder why she's not in Fantasy Town.
Maybe she wanted to come over here for some
Is she with
reason?
a group?
No, she's not. You do know that there were some employees that were scheduled to work that were already have been through this. The only people who were scheduled to work rides, merch shops, all that, though, would be these people who have already gone through whatever it is you're going through right now, or some variation of.
Okay. Do you think we should talk to her? Maybe she could answer some questions.
Maybe she's seen my sister.
Yeah, doesn't hurt.
Okay.
Sure.
We say as we hesitate to do exactly that.
I'm sorry, it's kind of hard for me to decide stuff because I've of internet issues on my end, so Kevin might be a bit more quiet.
Well, we're not making grand decisions either, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll approach her and curtsy in the way that the princesses usually greet each other.
Okay, so you approach her in a slightly, you find her kind of you see that she kind of dipped into a slightly darker alley that's not as well lit. So it's difficult to kind of see the full details of her dress and all of that. But you're kind of standing underneath a light as you approach, and you kind of do the curtsy, and you watch as her body does the curtsy motion. And she just goes, "Oh, hello."
Good evening, Princess Cinder. I was wondering, my friend here is looking for their sister, and we thought perhaps you might have seen her around.
Sister. I had some sisters once. Their eyes were pecked out by ravens.
Yeah,
Right.
I know that kind of sibling rivalry.
You would know that this is based off of the stories are based off of the Brothers Grimm stories, but usually those sort of details are edited out because they're supposed to be kid friendly. So she's really into her character right now.
Don't suppose you've maybe seen a woman who's yay high, and he actually brings his hand up about a foot above his head. Dark hair, looks like she's about to stab somebody, has a scar on her lip.
Tonight
Looks
there
like
are
she's about to
several
stab
people
somebody.
who look like they're gonna stab someone, but a scar on the lip, I'm afraid I've not. Tell me, what would you say Goth Princess's character name would be, Marguerite?
Oh gosh. Trying to think of a goth name.
My brain just...
Sorry.
Go ahead.
My first thought was Morticia.
My first thought was
Sure.
actually a form of that thing when somebody cannot like imagine an image, aphantasia.
Oh.
Princess Fantasia?
Sure.
Is that what you said? I'm sorry.
I said aphantasia.
Aphantasia. That actually sounds kind of cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. What are you thinking, Marguerite? What is your princess's name?
I like aphantasia.
Okay. So she just sort of looks at you and she goes, Princess Aphantasia. Is that your guest?
Yes. He's quite concerned. He lost his cell phone in an accident on the last ride, and well, now can't contact their sister.
Well, isn't that a shame? Can't find your sister. I'm sorry to hear. May I have him?
Have him for what?
For the same reason other princesses need guests.
Well, unfortunately, I am in short supply of guests to guide around, so I will have to decline at this time, but maybe next time.
You do need at least just one. Okay, have a lovely night. And she'll take a curtsy and like walk out. And she'll kind of walk through the alleyway going past you. And you watch as her dress is completely stained all down the front in blood. And she's just kind of like whistling her little, her little theme song. She's kind of like doing this like mix of a whistle and a hum. And she seems very happy.
I'm gonna, like, as she's turning and leaving, I'm just gonna call out, what happened to your guests?
Oh, me? I
Mhm.
didn't have any guests. I'm here. Well, for as any family member is here tonight. Somebody has to keep an eye on the others. Though, well, I suppose you'll see soon enough. Toodles!
What others? And this is where I use that move
Okay.
that I looked at my pictures for, because Gray is having suspicions. I'm going to use my art to boost my wisdom as I dig a little deeper.
You do that.
That is... Oop, sorry. I should probably put the command in.
That's a 9. So you can hold 1.
So my question is, what do you not want me to know?
Well, you are aware. This isn't like a just to kind of remind you that there are people working at the park, that are fully be it for
The vetted people.
Yeah, the vetted people essentially. But what she doesn't want you to know, as she kind of walks by you, you get a look at her her slipper, the heel that she wears, and you notice a piece of flesh caught in it.
I'm going to really quickly, like surreptitiously, with my camera under my arm, snap a picture of that.
Okay. All right. Are you doing anything else with that information?
Not until she's out of sight.
Okay, so, she kind of just, hums and does this, like, sing-songy thing and is out of sight. Eventually goes out of sight, and you're left standing before the gate still.
I'm going to huddle with Marguerite and Kevin, go, okay, not only was that really worrying and weird, Look at this. This looks like actual flesh.
Can you repeat that? You completely cut off from me.
So I'm going to huddle with Kevin and Marguerite and say, aside from the fact that that was completely weird, look at this. This looks like actual flesh in the picture in the viewfinder of the camera.
Oh, God.
You both do know that you guys have a good
Also,
special
yeah, okay,
effects.
that might help.
You do have a good special effects department, so
Yeah, I mean, true. That could be.
Sorry, I got distracted by the message that you sent to me, Kay, in the Zoom call, and also Thor just grooming Squirrel in the background.
I know they're so cute.
Oh.
My cats
But yeah,
are distractions.
I'm going to vanish from the Zoom call for a moment and see if that helps. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Go ahead and do it. It'll mess up with our cameras for a moment, but we should be.
Mm-hmm.
All right, go ahead. And we're all over the place. Well, actually, particularly you, Rain. But as soon as I get the notice that she's coming on in. Wow, you guys are so cute. Thor, don't do it. I know what you're thinking. Okay, he didn't do it. Sometimes Thor is like, he'll do this thing where he's like, I'm gonna give kisses, and then he's like, I'm gonna bite his neck.
When Thor channels Loki.
Pretty much. Let's check. Hold up. Wait, it doesn't show. Here we go. I said admit. Do the thing. Apologize for the inconvenience, folks. Minor technical difficulties.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, welcome back, ATB.
Hello.
Hopefully that helps.
Hopefully.
All right. Before that very brief interruption, it's fine. Tech issues happen. Those gosh darn tech gremlins.
Oh God, I realize it's showing my actual name. Oh God.
It's okay. They can't see your over here.
Yeah, the other picture's up.
Because you've got your other picture.
Oh, okay.
Well, actually, it might show it in. Oh, no, it does show it in the transcript. So, yeah, go ahead and switch that. There you go.
They can never know.
Except for anybody who's been watching up to this point. You all don't know. Okay? Okay.
You didn't see anything.
You didn't see anything. Anyway, so before the brief tech interruption, yeah, things are kind of weird. Princess Cinder has something fleshy on her heels when she was walking away.
Mm-hmm.
And Dominic was showing you all that.
So now I'm going to use that hold to ask the second question.
Yeah.
Which is crap, I forgot the exact wording, but it's basically the safest way to get there without being seen.
Well, I mean, it depends on where you're going. You don't know exactly where in Steamland, because I don't think it would give you like sonar hearing.
No, but what I like looking forward, would I be able to see spots that are less visible and easy to hide behind and stuff like that?
I would say that as you kind of like peer into Steamland, for the most part, it's pretty well lit. And there's not really like a ton of alleyways or anything, but you do notice there are like a few gaps in the lighting. Maybe like hide behind a couple of trees or bushes. There's not a ton of trees and bushes and stuff, but if that's what you're trying to do, it would be your best way to go about it.
So I'm just gonna kind of take the lead a little bit and try to guide us through those areas. But Rain being Rain and this character being slightly high. as we're going through those areas, they're going to try to be subtle, but under their breath, they'll be doing the Krunk secret theme song.
Yes.
Oh my
Love
god.
that whole scene. Makes me happy. Okay, so you're yeah, I'm not gonna go. I don't want to DMCA things. But yeah, you're doing that. Kevin, Marguerite, are you trying to follow suit and be all sneaky, or are you just like, okay, this guy, I don't know.
I think Kevin will just try to follow along, and like, if Dominic is doing any any movement, any like, I don't know, like dancing movements or whatnot, then Kevin's just trying to just follow exact movements as well.
I think Marguerite is just gonna be like, okay, and try to be sneaky as well.
Alright, so you're all like, being extra sneaky, kind of like shimmying through from one point to
I
the
feel like
other.
if the Breakfast Club were trapped in a haunted park, this is what it would look like.
Yes.
Yeah, so you are all being extra sneaky and all that, and you kind of like peruse the area. You see a few like what look to be blood stains, but you don't see anyone. However, as you sort of approach, you do see on one of the tables in the near SteamTown's main restaurant, because it's a primarily outdoor restaurant. You do see. Warning, this is a horror thing, so it might get a little graphic. You do see a head on a plate.
I'm going to go investigate that because we're not doing the smart thing.
Kevin at seeing Dominic just go over to the head on the plate, just like, Gray, what are you doing? Why are you going near the plate? Oh god, you're going near the plate.
Well, you all keep saying your prop department is fantastic.
You know what? True.
So it stands to reason that if this is a prop, we should take a closer look. If it's not a prop,
then
we should take a closer look and then run away.
Okay, so either take a closer look and go ooh at the gore, or take a closer look and put it back down slowly and run away, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't anticipate this going wrong at all.
What could go wrong?
All right, so what do you all do to investigate it? And how far are you like away from, or are you just like, this is a head? No, I'm sorry.
Depends on, like, I'm trying to gauge the level of gore that's appropriate.
Yeah, I'd say keep it yellow, in that if it was, red, green, yellow, keep it in the yellow, so not overly descriptive.
So then I won't do the first thing I thought of.
Trust me,
Second thing,
I'm limiting myself here, so I get it.
Second thing I thought of was when they're making props, even if they want to make it realistic, they're not going to do all of the anatomically correct things with anatomically correct substances. So I'm just going to really quickly flick my thumb underneath a lip for warmth and saliva.
You feel warmth and saliva, and go ahead.
Oh, I was also going to say, after Rain's thing, I do still have one hold for something there that wasn't there before, so I was thinking of possibly using that after Rain's thing.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
So you do feel warmth and saliva, and as you kind of like put your finger in, you notice its eyes pop open. And it's just sort of like looking around wildly. Kevin, you said you wanted to do something that wasn't there before?
Mm-hmm.
All right, what's your question?
I want to use the hold to ask, what happened here? Basically, what happened here? Very plain and simple.
Kevin, somebody who works in maintenance, you are pretty, intimately aware of the props, and you do know that this is too real. In fact, it's so realistic that one would say it is real. It's a head. A real person's head that has just popped its eyes open the moment that Dominic sticks his finger in the mouth.
Which Dominic is going to go, nope, 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 and just start walking backwards.
Yeah, same with Kevin. Just like same, like nope, 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 nope.
Marguerite's gonna take a step closer and pardon me, head person, are you still conscious?
Yes.
How
Look
did
under the
this-
table to see if there's a body.
Where is your body?
I don't know. It all got dark. Princess Cinder, she came. She came. We were supposed to be getting on the ride. She said that we had to get on the ride, but we didn't want to get on the ride. And she said that if we didn't get on the ride, then we wouldn't get ahead in life. And then she took my body.
Oh, that is a very terrible way to tell a pun.
Well, my sincerest apologies. I hope you are reunited with your body as soon as possible. We did just see Princess Cinder,
It's a terrible
so
punishment.
perhaps we can go looking for your body later.
It's when you say you saw Princess Cinder, their eyes go wide and they go, ride the ride if you wish to stay alive, ride the ride if you wish to stay alive, ride the ride if you wish to stay alive, ride the ride if you wish to stay alive, and they just like it's almost like they're stuck on a traumatic loop. And you see as their eyes kind of flit towards the Crafty Kraken ride.
Well, it looks like we're going on a ride.
Yay,
Gray's staring at the head. Gray's the kind of person that really cares about people. So Gray's staring at it like, do you want to come with us?
can we take them with us? Oh wait, first, I guess, do you have a name and also preferred pronouns? The head person?
At this point, something about the mention of Princess Cinder seemed to have like snapped something. So they're on an endless loop of ride the ride if you wish to stay alive, ride the ride if you wish to stay alive, ride the ride if you wish to stay alive, ride, stay alive.
Okay, well, we're just gonna we're gonna
Go.
We're gonna go. We'll tell you how the ride is. Have fun.
well maybe bring no.
We'll bring you a hat for if it rains or something.
Oh, I can do that one better because I still have the bunny ears.
Oh,
Ears on the head.
Is that what we're going for?
He feels bad.
Okay. That's what we're doing. Oh my gosh, I love it.
wait, I got an idea. It's a terrible idea, but do you mind if I try something, Kay?
Go for it.
Can I try to use my radio and ask, hey, does anyone know where I can find a place to like get a duffel bag? Like just to fit something in. Just to carry.
To be fair,
no.
I do have a backpack.
You do have a backpack.
Wait, hold that thought over. Great. Do you want to
So what I'm going to say in response to that is I will take my camera equipment out of the bag and you can do it.
Okay.
So I just start putting lenses and shit in my various other pockets.
I feel like this person is a little distressed, and I'm not sure moving them around in a bag where they're going to be in the dark is going to be helpful.
Yeah,
you
that's
can
true.
certainly try.
You know what?
We're gonna hear muffled screaming for the rest of the session.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe we should just wait. Maybe if we come back and they're calmed down. And if not, then
I mean, to be fair, where are they gonna go?
Exactly, they
That
can't
is
walk
true.
away.
They're not getting ahead in life, as Princess Cinder said, so, you know.
Just to kind of try to make the head feel better. Take off the bunny paws and put them on front of the head like paws.
if there's like a napkin or something nearby, Kevin's gonna just write on it, "Do not disturb them. They're just doing fine."
Everything
a
is
rough
fine.
day.
All is well. Anyway.
All is well.
All right. So you take care of the head. Are you doing both the
Please
bunny
return the
ears
body.
and the paws?
Yes.
Okay, so the head has been left and it's, still muttering, but it seems to have calmed down when the paws were put in front of it. It seems to calm down just a little bit. It's still just the muttering has seemed to quiet a bit, so it's ride the ride if you want to stay alive, ride the ride if you want to stay alive. And yeah.
So I don't know
Crafty
about you
Kraken?
two, but I'm, terrified out of my. What are we doing? What? Where? Who?
I think we need to ride ride the ride if we want to stay alive. Like I feel like if we try to do anything else, then we might not like what happens.
Yes, because that hasn't been a constant theme since I arrived.
I mean, listen, Gray. After all this is done, if we survive, I'm gonna owe you so much of whatever kind of food or beverage you want for a week.
Well, let's not lose our heads. Let's go to the to the ride.
What have I started?
You
love
could
it.
not resist that.
All right. So everybody gets on the ride, I'm assuming?
Yeah, if I see Cinder anywhere, I am just going to avoid eye contact.
Okay, so as you all get on the ride, and somebody takes a look back, you watch as Cinder is now, or you see in the distance, this shimmering ball gown in the light that match, and you see the head turn and smile, but in her hand she's wielding a giant scythe, and you're like, okay, we're getting on the ride. And as you get on the ride, it seems to it's as if it comes to life in and of itself, or like by itself, because you didn't notice anybody who was like operating the ride. And as you get on the ride, you feel, everybody is able to fit inside essentially one of these pods that dangles off the Kraken's tentacles. And as you get on the ride, you feel yourself lifted in the air. The ride begins to spin slowly at first, then picking up speed faster and faster and faster. The tentacles seeming to whip around your cart, wheeling independently of itself, and then bursting
Face turning
forth.
green.
Yeah. And after, as it reaches the height of what usually would be the ride, you watch burst forth through the airship this giant gaping maw that wasn't designed there, to your knowledge, but it's a giant gaping maw with rows and rows of sharp pointed teeth, and you watch as your cart gets lowered, the tentacle pulling you in faster and faster, but at the very last moment, as it drops you into its gaping maw, you feel the cart kind of disconnect from the tentacle, and you start free falling through. You're expecting the monsters, the inside of the monster stomach, that impact to hit you at any moment. However, it doesn't, and in fact you land in a soft pool of water where you find yourself at the very beginning of the Buccaneers of the Sky ride.
That whole time, as soon as the maw appeared, Great starts screaming. But also in his hands down by his stomach's just click, 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 click.
Yeah, how do you all feel about this?
When the ride started to go faster and faster, there was like excited screaming from Kevin. Like for a moment, like he forgot like all of the horror, and then when they were about to be dropped into the moss, and later's just the cheerful screaming turned into terrified screaming. And he is still screaming.
Okay, so you've the cart itself seems to have landed in a puddle of water, like right by the entrance, of about a foot or so. Marguerite, how did you cope with all that?
I feel like Marguerite just would have been like, this isn't real, this isn't real, this isn't real. And then would have tried to channel the power that Druid's dream world instills in her, and I'm gonna try to fill the world with sunshine.
Okay, go ahead and roll your fill the world with sunshine, and don't forget to add the twinkle you got last time.
Oops, sorry, that's +1, not 2.
Yeah, you're good. That's still an 8.
5.
A 5?
Oh.
Okay. Oof.
So I get gain a twinkle.
Yeah.
And nothing happens.
You do gain a twinkle. So as you, what is it you were trying to manifest?
I was trying to give us armor.
Okay.
So that in case we like fell, that we would be somewhat protected.
Hot armor.
So as you you feel the magic kind of sort of swelling in you, this feeling that's still new to you, you feel it begin to swell in you, and everybody outside of the pod actually sees, as you're falling through, this like dark, shimmering, glittery bubble sort of like appear around the outside of the cart, but it sort of like flickers and then just pop, disappear, and you keep falling. And you do gain a twinkle, unfortunately, but that's okay.
But that'll help the next time I try to roll that.
It's like risk and reward here. But you do manage to land safely. You know, there's that impact of you hit something, so you kind of like go down and then back up, but you're not physically harmed. Maybe one of you like might have bumped your head, but it's shockingly like the inside of it is padded, so.
Can I just mention something, by the way?
Yeah.
According to the Google like sheets that we're using for our character sheets, last edit was made seconds ago by anonymous Kraken on my end.
Well, we're doomed.
Well, we're fucked.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Too real.
This is getting too real. It's leaking into the real world.
That must be me because I added twinkle.
Alright, so you find, and as it sort of like settles, you feel it kind of like bobbing, as if it's like on the water. and you see as the little door sort of just opens, and again you see yourself in the entrance of I'm sure what all of you, since we have an annual pass holder and employees, would recognize to be the Buccaneers, Buccaneers of the Sky. Wow, sorry, I had a momentary like. So yeah.
Well, this must have been the actual ride we were intended to go on, so...
Gray is literally just kind of sitting there staring straight forward.
Kevin has his eyes closed and is still screaming.
Kevin?
Ah!
We're done.
Oh. Are we dead?
If we're dead, we're still in the park, so... I don't think
say
so.
that.
Kevin just takes his pulse very quickly and is like, okay, I can still feel a pulse. Okay.
I just want to note that after tonight, I'm going to reconsider the season pass.
This is fine.
We're going to have to get out of this pod, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, look on the bright side. We're in the Buccaneers of Sky Ride. This ride's awesome.
Yes, more people with swords.
There's only been like some rumors that they've used real life skeletons as part of the ride. Actually, those rumors were actually proven true, but they've all been removed.
Yeah, fun fact, anybody who likes Disney, that is actually a thing. Back in the day, the original Pirates of the Caribbean ride did, in fact, have real skeletons because it was cheaper. Fun fact! Disney!
Those real skeletons cheaper.
And this part is also... Students, sorry.
I believe is the thing. Right, ATB? Was that the thing?
From
the medical students at the University of... one of the local universities or something, I thought. Yeah. And also,
Kevin's gonna also add another thing, which is actually another part that is true. And I mean, some people say that there's one skull that is still a real skeleton, but, it hasn't been proven.
Get a bunch of Disney nerds in a game that's legally distinct Disney. This is what you get. All right. Yeah. Back to the game.
Gray's just going to be staring at Kevin, and in the back of his head somewhere is, see, I understand why you work here, but...
See, that was even funnier for me because it cut off when Rain went, see, I get why you work here, but...
That's as far as it went.
Okay, thank goodness. I thought you said something else, and for me it just cut off.
No. All right, so did y'all
suddenly uncomfortable being in a small space with Kevin? I'm gonna climb out.
So did y'all have character tokens or something you can drag and drop? You don't have to use them if you don't want to, but I just figured if, like, for reference, for y'all's reference at the very least.
Where's the entrance?
Be down here. In this corner. That I
don't know how to drag and drop.
So you go
there it is.
Here,
I got it.
Yeah.
Kevin's so small.
Okay. And then where was the entrance?
I am pinging it.
Over here.
Whee!
My ping
Bottom
is
right
gray.
corner.
Oh, there it is. Okay. That's not how you move a character. That's also not how you move a character.
You should just be able to left click with your mouse and just drag it on over.
Yeah, I had to click first and then drag.
Ah. All right, wonderful. Okay. So you find yourself at the entrance. You do kind of like bob out. We'll say that the cart kind of like dropped you off here, so you kind of had to like climb out and climb up, but you found yourself at the entrance. I think, do we want to go ahead and take our break now before we dive into this part?
I see what you did there. Yes.
Yeah, sounds good.
I'd say so.
All right, yeah. So, just to not get like halfway through and then be like, well, I mean, we are kind of halfway through, but basically, basically not to get like part of the way in and be like, hey guys, just kidding, we're going on break. We are actually, hey folks, we're going on break now. So we will be back in approximately, probably about 10 minutes or so. 10, maybe 15 at the most. I always try to give a little bit of leeway. So we will be back very shortly with more of SteamTown shenanigans on the Rise of Rosie. Bye.
Bye, but don't actually leave.
everybody. We are back and ready for more adventures in Rise of Rosie. When last we left our intrepid park Druid's Dream World fanatics of sorts, screaming happened. We should go look and find out who's screaming and why was a thing. An encounter with Princess Cinder incurred, and turns out she kind of had she had red kind of all over her. That wasn't immediately visible, but when she was walking away, it very quickly became visible. And they encountered a head that was in fact real, not a prop, but seemed to get caught in a loop after hearing that the group had encountered Princess Cinder? What?
Princess Cinder.
I believe that's called a Freudian slip. Basically everybody's like, hey, what happened to you? What's going on? And it started just saying over and over again, ride the ride to stay alive, ride the ride to stay alive. And so the group did just that. They hopped on the Crafty Kraken and rode the ride and were essentially swallowed whole by a gaping maw that shouldn't be there, and in fact found themselves drawn down into the Buccaneers of the Sky ride, right at the entrance, almost like it's for plot convenience. Now I will say that all three of you, Marguerite and Kevin, you both being employees, and Dominic, I'm sure you've been on this ride a few times, being an annual park holder, you do know that this is a walk-through dark ride of sorts that acts as sort of a maze. And typically what occurs on this ride is when a group or guest enters, they are given a scroll. And on this scroll typically tells them what they need to repair. Essentially to get the great pirate Captain Alexander's ship up and sailing again in order to sail off and essentially complete the ride.
Do we have said scroll?
There is not anyone there to hand you the scroll. However, you do see... Give me 1 second, because I have...
Is it a friend?
Give me 1 second here. I thought I had it uploaded, but I guess I didn't. Here we go. Nope, that won't work. Here we go. No, I don't want like 6 of them. I want just the one. Thanks. You do see a scroll kind of like in the distance.
Oh. Is it like suspended on something or in like water? Or is this water?
No, all of this is on the ground. The surrounding area, you all do know, is water, because they did go for like an air of pseudo-realism of a sort. And yeah, normally, I would say Kevin, you in particular would know as park maintenance, it's about 1.5 foot usually of water. Though whether or not that's, weird things have been going on, so you never know. But yeah. You all do see the scroll in the distance.
Well, I'm going to look around to see if there's anybody watching us before I go to get the obvious clue.
As you look around, you do not see anybody watching you. However, you do see tentacle slip into the water over here. So that's a thing. And you know that's not usually a thing.
Remind me, does the ship that we're supposed to repair have cannons?
You know that there are actually prop cannons and prop ballista crossbows, harpoons, not only on the ship itself but around the park as a whole, or around the attraction as a whole.
Oh, good. Because we're following form, some of those won't be props.
True.
Then I will walk up here to grab the scroll.
Okay, yeah. So you grab the scroll. We'll just say that's on your person. And as you grab the scroll, you kind of open it up and you read it, and you see that it says, in order to get Captain Alexander's ride up and running once again, you must repair 3 of the modified science transmographer tools.
I'm going to take a picture of it in case we lose the scroll. Can't imagine a situation where we might lose the scroll, but
I mean, you never know. Never thought I would encounter a situation where I would come into my workplace and see a severed head on a plate.
Yeah, well, I guess today's the day.
I want to say better safe than sorry, but that sounds kind of crass.
Does the scroll have like a blueprint or sketch of what these transmographer tools are, or do we have to just figure that out on our own?
So you know that there's the modified. So there's 3. I'll zoom out the map just so you can see here. So typically there's 3 different types of machines that park goers have to repair. There's the modified science transmographer tools, which is basically this round collection. There's like this giant pole in the center, and there's gears and stuff surrounding it. There's like this electric-esque glowy effect that happens as they repair them. And then there is the Experimentic Strategy Revelotron Network as the second one. And those are they look like these almost metal cages of sorts, that supposedly are for communications. And then the third tool is give me one second, I'm just typing it out here. It might help if I could spell things properly. The computerized conveyor telelocator tool, and it's essentially has a globe in the center, and then these little rings that move around it, and there's north, south, east, and west. It's contained into this giant sphere. So for out of character, just so y'all are kind of aware, this would be the modifier, or the modified science transmographer tool, or the MSTTs. Then these would be the Experimentic Strategy Revelotron networks. And finally, these would be your computed, I said computed in the chat, but it's computerized conveyor telelocator tool.
So would we know if we need to find something first before we can repair, or is it like a case of...
You do know that as far as the ride goes, it's typically just these faux machines or crystals or or like these little like devices that have these various like little spinny bits on it to repair it. Basically, there's like machines in the area that people would have to like push buttons to fix them.
Okay. Ooh.
And you do know that it is a maze of sorts as well. So you have to also additionally navigate the maze.
Kevin will just look around after like just explaining stuff and just clap his hands and go, "Well, guess the first part is the maze, and if I've learned anything about mazes, it's usually to stick to the right of it."
So Gray Brain is thinking, bet you I can find the fastest way to the first one.
All
Rain
right.
Brain is saying, well, it's really convenient we have a map here.
Yeah, I was going to turn on the dynamic lighting, but then I was like, but also effort.
That's fair.
Should we just, as a precaution, if we reach a room that doesn't have things like this that we need in it, should we check that room? Are we full adventuring party going for loot here?
I mean, it could be useful to try to find things to quote unquote defend ourselves. I know I got some tinkering abilities. If we find something useful, I could try to, like, I know that I got this, and Kevin holds up his foam axe. Like, I could try to make something that could help protect us better.
I'll pull out my taser. I'm able to protect myself with this.
Oh,
At
okay,
least
that's
close
fair.
up.
You think I'm hitting somebody with $1,000 camera? You're crazy.
Yeah, really out of character. That was just me kind of reminding, kind of me just letting people know of like one of Kevin's abilities to,
Tinker.
yeah. And also just reminding myself because I was gonna do that at the beginning, but didn't.
Yeah, now you do also know that there's like a bunch of rooms and stuff off to the side that you can like peek in, because it's meant for like guests to kind of just chill and explore and take a look around. The story goes that essentially Captain Hubert Alexander created this safe haven for sky buccaneers. He was essentially considered to be like one of the lords of the sky. Essentially, he's a sky pirate, and he basically created this safe haven for the other buccaneers to have a place to stay. There's rumors of treasure being in he has a treasure room that's supposed to be protected. It's supposed to be kind of like this walkthrough interactive maze of the village itself. And as of right now, the only way to go is straight, unless you went into one of these rooms off to the side.
I kind of want to check. I gotta stop using that button to move things.
No, you're fine.
I kind of want to check this room.
You see one of those. I don't remember what name I came up for, but you see one of the like tools. I see Marguerite. You're looking in there, so you just see like some machinery. Dominic, you also see that there's like one of the glowing crystals. That crystal is currently glowing. So they're just like machine rooms.
Gray. So every other time Gray's gone on this ride, it's been with somebody else who knew what they were doing. so Gray will just kind of stare at it for a moment. Technical people, how do this?
That's not my area of expertise. I'll look at Kevin.
Would Kevin know what to do, or?
I would say that both of you, as park employees, it's not really your area of expertise, Marguerite, but you, Kevin, in particular, would know that it's basically like some of these rooms are basically like just more interactive fun. So, like, if it's a room where it's like just this machine, they can push buttons and little steam will come out, and buttons will lights will occur, things will go beep boop. For this particular one, it's basically just like as they spin the different pieces, once they solve the puzzle, it doesn't actually really do anything, but it just causes this crystal here to glow brighter, along with a crystal in another room, which is you would know would be probably like nearby. So yeah, some of these rooms are just more for the fun of it.
Okay, so Kevin will relay that and be like, so yeah, it's kind of just like a bit of a fun interactive thing. I know there was one time me and a buddy came here and I went to this room. He went to another room and we just kind of kept solving the puzzle and just watching like as the two crystals kind of like kept glowing brighter and brighter. It's just for fun.
So while I may give up my season pass, remind me to come back when. Never mind. I'll keep that to myself. What I have in my backpack, and I will.
Sure.
Gray's not so subtle. Oh, that's in my backpack. I forgot about that. Okay, so we're looking for function, not for mild entertainment.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll just keep moving along.
You know that's just like a crystal, I'd say, that, probably interacts with something else in here.
It's another steam room.
Yeah, another steam room. So
Looks like there's food in this room.
Yeah, so basically there's like a little wall here that kind of just, so you have to kind of like go through and shimmy through. I didn't actually put figures on, but there are like a few animatronics, sort of like drinking and laughing, and you see like a few that clink their glasses together. This is supposed to be just like the buffet room of sorts. And yeah.
Is this an open door right here?
It was originally an open door, but there's a table in the way. So just imagine there's a wall there. I forgot to put it in. But yeah. So Marguerite, where you're going, you enter this room and you see one of the experiment strategy Revelatron networks, which is not what you're looking for, but you do see an exit on this side.
There's a way out through here. Well, I don't know if it's out, but...
I mean, could try to look anyway.
Yeah, so you exit out of here and you notice that you in fact do see a modified science transmographer tool. I'm just going to call it an MSTT for sake of ease because I keep tripping over the words. And it does kind of take some shimmying. But you are able to kind of like shimmy past it, and you see that it is currently like completely shut down.
Click.
Are there any pieces missing?
No.
Well, looks like this is one of the things we're supposed to fix.
What were you gonna say earlier, Rain? Thought you were going to say something.
No, I just had a thought that something my dad did.
Oh.
He would go up to something that was broken, stare at it for a few minutes, kind of kick it a little bit, and so, yep, that's broken.
I see.
I would say, Kevin, you in particular kind of know how these work. Typically it's just kind of like a puzzle. You kind of just like, most of the times guests will just sort of have to like push buttons in like different series, and as they get them correct, they'll light up. And basically to fully activate it, another guest would need to like kind of keep their hand on the crystal, if that makes sense.
Okay. So Kevin will just say, so what needs to happen is one person needs to solve the puzzle by messing with the different buttons here, while another person has to go and put their hand on this crystal here and just keep their hand on it. Which sounds simple enough, though something tells me it's not going to be that simple this time.
I guess you don't know until you try.
Mm-hmm. So, who wants to do what thing?
I feel like we're all staring at the crystal that nobody wants to touch.
Well, why don't we try to figure out the puzzle first? I feel like we can do that as a group, right?
Or do we need to be touching the crystal for the puzzle to be figured out?
Basically, somebody would have to be touching the crystal.
Someone has to touch the crystal.
I will touch the crystal.
Okay. I was going to suggest like we all just roll something and then whoever gets like lowest has to do it,
shoot.
but
No, Marguerite is dream world princess and wants to, if no one else wants to do it, we'll take the initiative.
Marguerite knows what they
Okay.
want. Okay, okay, so there's not really a full-on move to figure out the puzzle. However, what I was thinking for this, I think it kind of falls in the wise stat. So to kind of see if you two manage to figure it out, slash if you, basically, or how quickly, I would call for a roll plus wise to do so, and the other person, what is that?
Help a friend get unstuck.
Help a friend get unstuck. Can roll help a friend get unstuck, and I figured like, we could alternate that sort of thing if that's what y'all wanted to do, or if you wanted to kind of just stick to the one person, feel free. But yeah, basically to give them a boost in helping figure it out, one person will roll help a friend get unstuck, and the other will roll plus wise.
Okay. I know that my wise is +1 Rain, so unless you want to try it.
Mine's +2 on default and +3 when I'm digging deeper.
Okay. So you do the plus wise first and I do the help a friend?
I will also try to inspire Gray and say, if you can dream it, you can drew it, and use paint with the colors of the wind.
Yes! Do it! I love that, by the way. If you can dream it, you can drew it. That's perfect.
13,
Dang!
so...
Nice!
I inspire Gray, and the wisdom I impart makes them a better person. They get +1 experience and +1 forward.
Nice.
So each of you, I believe you also get experience for this.
Oh.
I think I'll go ahead and say mark experience for it. Why not?
Okay.
It's a short campaign.
So I think to help, I think the person who's helping rolls first.
Yes.
Yes, so I'll roll first.
And that's a 10. So on a 10, to help a friend get unstuck, your friend will get either +2, or if you want to make their life a little bit more difficult, a plus or a -2 on the move that prompted them to make, or to basically inspire said help a friend get unstuck.
So that's +2, +1, +2.
Yes.
Yeah.
+5.
Yeah, so you have a +1 forward currently. And yeah.
Dang!
Dang! Okay.
Oh, that was an easy puzzle.
So, wow. Okay. So you, just immediately you go beep, 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 and you watch as the lights just, you happen, normally it takes people a few tries. Kevin and Marguerite, you would know this particularly. The machines are usually designed, to where it, like, kind of tricks people to where they have to try a couple of times. But, Dominic kind of stepped in and said, "Oh, no, you don't." And solved it in, like, 5 seconds. And you watch as the machine begins to glow, and emanate a sort of, like a blue glowing, like smoky light, I guess, coming out of it. And as you do that, there is a crash in the near distance. And it is not supposed to be that big. What? Calm down.
Oh dear.
You hear a crash. You don't see it.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
I have a feeling we're not alone down here.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't subsidence. Was the term of subsidence.
Okay. So what do y'all do? You've successfully
I run the
solved
fuck out of the
first-
room.
Okay. Yeah, you're okay. So you run into this room here.
Yes.
I will say you run into this room here, and you actually find that it's a weapons cache.
Oh.
That's literally the sound Gray makes, isn't it?
Something fun over there?
I really hope these aren't props.
Swords.
They are technically very well made props, but they are very sturdy.
Is there any long distance weapon in there?
This is primarily like axes, swords. There is there's a lance that has a little bit of a reach, and there's a halberd that's got a little bit of reach, but they are all melee weapons.
Okay.
Like an axe.
Can I take a halberd?
Go for it.
Yay!
You could throw an axe. I'll take an axe too.
I now have a mental image. If we find duct tape with Kevin's abilities, we could take your taser, put it on the end of the javelin.
Why do you think I'm taking the halberd? I'm going
Okay, but that gave me serious Sweet Home vibes.
When we find some good materials to combine stuff, I am totally going to try to make the best combined weapons I can, or I'm going to break everything and ruin it all.
Okay.
Zombie apocalypse weapons.
So, Dominic, what weapon are you taking? Anything, or are you just like, they got it?
I'm taking an axe.
Yeah, okay, so we got 2 axes and a halberd. Okay. So if your attack, just so you know, your attack would be break some femurs. If they hit, you get a +1 harm automatically, everybody.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's going to be useful because I am not good at fighting.
That's plus wicked, right?
Yeah, it's your roll plus wicked.
Okay.
But this room is essentially a dead end of sorts, so you would have to go, like, back out and around.
So yeah, we have to
out,
leave.
You basically come out, you go on to here. You do see this pit, but you actually can't access it just yet. Basically, it's like on a suspended bridge. with a bar. I thought I put a wall there, but I didn't, so that's my bad.
Is this
Imagine a
below
wall
us?
here. Yeah. So basically you're walking across. There's a bridge here. There's supposed to be a wall like right here that I just look. I added a bunch of I did all this today, and I thought I got it all, but I missed this one spot. So yeah. So you can see it, but you can't get to it, if that makes sense.
Okay.
It's almost like it's like something to do with the plot.
It's a plot hole.
Oh.
Da, da, da.
Cha-cha. Okay. So basically you have to make your way back the way you came. Who's taking point?
Well, I'm running, so probably me.
Okay. So everybody kind of runs through, and as you run and make your way through, you approach and you watch as this purple, purpley tentacle on one side and like a teal with suckers on the other side is sort of starting to reach around and sort of slither into the dining area here.
Oh.
What kind of things are in the dining area?
Some tables, block of food, and you do know that at the top, because this is essentially like this area here is essentially like lifted on a pillar, or like there's different levels, and this is like lifted. There is what seems to be like a plasma cannon. That's back in the room that you came in. It's just kind of hovering over here because it kind of like goes over y'all's heads.
Okay.
Do we want to try for that?
Sure.
I got an idea. What if we take all the food, put it like closer there to keep it occupied, and then try to get the plasma cannon?
Is it
Is
true?
Real food?
Is it true that at Disneyland, at the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, there's like a restaurant area that serves alcohol?
I've never been to Disneyland, but I know in Disney World there are a few in that area, restaurant-wise, but I don't think any of those specifically. But again, that's Disney World, so there's a difference.
Like half remembering things that my friend told me because
I haven't been to Disney World. The last time I went to Disney World was in like 2013. Wait, no, there might be a restaurant, but it serves like ale, if it does.
So I know that there are some restaurants in Disneyland that serve alcohol.
Most of the ones that serve alcohol at Disney would be located in Epcot. Because they have that World's Tour thing, and like certain time, every so often they do like a World's Tour, where adults can pay and just like literally go around the whole pavilion and try different drinks. Gosh, I'm a Disney nerd. Okay. But yeah,
my main curiosity here is whether or not I would be able to find rum.
I would say for the sake of our world, because Druid's Dream World is distinct, the food itself is props, but there are like one or two pieces of food that seem to like, it's as if they turned real. And let me take a look at y'all's stats real fast. Wait, no, why do you hide the thing? No, it just like randomly decided that I didn't need to see like the different tabs. Roll me for the sake of just randomness. Let's say another wise. Or alternatively, actually, no, I have an idea. How badly do you want this? How badly do you want rum?
If I can find a large bottle that is 100 proof or something like that, then yes, I will wish upon a star for it.
Okay, so okay. that's where I was going. So you do find a bottle that is marked like XXX, you know, like classic moonshine, and it's supposed to be like super high proof, you know, moonshine. But when you look in and you give it a whiff, it's water. But if you would like to change that, there's an option for that.
I'm just rereading it to make sure I understand. That's part 3.
Yeah, now, basically, Make-A-Wish typically does, like, all harm, negate shock, reroll a die, but for very minor things like this, I would personally say, because you're making a wish, like, come on.
Yeah.
So, so I'll literally be like just pawing through it. I'm like, please find real alcohol, and I'll wish upon a star.
All right. So you wish upon a star. Go ahead and add me 1 twinkle. And as you pick up the jug and you kind of peer into it, at first it's just regular water, but then your senses are overwhelmed with the burning sense of alcohol. And it smells strong.
So the reason I was looking for alcohol, particularly strong alcohol, is I have a lighter.
You do have a lighter.
Oh. Oh no.
So, and we can still try for the plasma gun first, but if that thing gets near us, I'm going to try and set it on fire.
Yeah. Now, as you're looking, the tentacle is getting closer. So, we're gonna go ahead and I'm just going to make a turn order, just for the sake of keeping track of who's doing what. If either you can, who wants to go after, Dominic?
I
has
think
an
I'll
idea.
try to get armor on us again, just in anticipation that we're gonna have to fight this thing. So I'll go next.
Okay. So
Okay.
that'll put you, Kevin. And it will put this. We're just gonna say 0, and we're going to do descending, just so I can keep track.
Yay.
So, that's going to bring us to Marguerite. You're gonna go ahead and try to make armor. How are you gonna do that for us?
Fill the world with sunshine.
You fill our world with sunshine. Give me that roll, please.
That's a 9.
Heck yeah!
So, we gain plus an aura of +1 armor for the next minute.
Yay.
Yeah, so everybody just go ahead and make a note. Now, armor, the way it works is that it will essentially, if you take 1 harm and you have 1 armor, it will negate that harm, essentially.
It's like a soak.
Yeah, but if you take 2 harm, it's going to negate the 1, but you still take the 1. So it's kind of a trade-off. But once it's spent, it's spent. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So let's go ahead and move on just for expedience sake. Kevin, are you doing anything?
First of all, I was just gonna say I had like a move that I could have used for like rain for like finding alcohol, but never mind. Because it was like to the wish a dream.
Oh yeah.
So, but it's fine. I'm going to just look at Dominic and be like, I have a feeling I know what you're trying to do, and hopefully you can do it well. Try to aim for right at the tentacle. Please don't send us into a burning inferno as well. And just gonna do hold your banner high.
All
Or
right.
try to at least.
Give us a roll for roll your banner or hold your banner high.
Darn.
That is a 4. So unfortunately, you. Okay.
Gain an experience.
You do gain an experience. So essentially, hold your banner high is essentially an attempt to try to like rally our troops. Prepare for a terrible reaction, and PCs get a plus. Okay, so that's actually, I think that falls to everybody because it says PCs, plural, get +1 experience for ignoring or mocking you.
Aw.
You guys can mock me, I can take it. I might cry a bit, but you know.
I feel like that would be against Marguerite's princess code.
Fair. I mean, but you can also choose to ignore it. So.
I'll be too busy trying to get the cork off the bottle to.
For something terrible, it's funny that you mention it because I've put this in the turn order. We watch as the tentacle sweeps in, trying to kind of like make a, kind of sweeps to grab all three of you. And that is going to be, oh, snap. Oh. Okay. That's going to be 2 successes. So I'm going to say that as you're just like, oh, my thing, it didn't inspire people. You watch as the tentacle sort of shoots out and kind of it doesn't manage to make it around 3. However, what it does do is go for the person closest to it, which is going to be Dominic, and it's going to reach around, grab Dominic by the ankle, and suspend him upside down.
Oh no!
You inspired the tentacle. You inspired the tentacle.
Oh no! That was not what I meant to do.
And now we're back up. Let's go to Kevin. Kevin. My brain. Dominic. Wow.
So that didn't do any trauma to me, right?
No. As of right now, let me pull up the conditions real fast. You know you want to find it. You didn't suffer any harm. On what page is the conditions?
It is on page.
Because
oh god,
like shock?
Yeah. Because for some reason my book is like, no, you don't need to find this.
Page 32 is the trauma tags.
Harm and shock is on 29.
Yeah, that's what I want. 29.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that this inflicts 27, 28, 29. If I'm doing this right. I'm gonna say that in this instance it doesn't cause physical harm, but like you were like all ready to go and all of that. So I'm gonna say that instead it inflicts 1 shock. And it's basically just you're afraid right now.
Okay. So that immediately activates one of my moves.
Do it.
Don't let fear control you. And it's roll plus brave.
Do it.
I am not in Twitch chat right now. Okay. That didn't work.
Okay, so while normally you can shake off fear, unfortunately the dice said otherwise. And this is scary. This is big. This is real. Everything that's been leading up to this, it's a little too much at the moment. And so you are actually going to succumb to said fear of being suspended by the tentacle and gain a -+1 forward for any move against that particular danger, meaning the tentacle itself.
Oh.
Well, with that being said, I'm going to attack the tentacle.
With that being said, time for the Molotov.
All right, wonderful. Go ahead and roll me.
Now,
break some femurs. Is that what you're going for?
Yeah, but I'm not going to make a Molotov because I want to be able to use that alcohol again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to yell out in a terrified voice, "This is why you're nice to street performers!" And I'm going to put some in my mouth and light the lighter and blow it out.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Wonderful.
So that's plus wicked.
Yep, plus wicked.
This is not going to go well. 6 minus 1.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Okay.
Oh.
So, you're getting ready to spit fire. I don't know if you've done this before. We're going to say that for the sake of you're really not familiar with fire spitting. And here's the thing about fire spitting. It's funny that you bring it up because I used to do this sort of thing. You have to be real careful of the breeze. It's a very large factor. And when you go to spit out, unfortunately, your methodology is not very precise, and you find yourself like kind of spitting a little bit of the liquid on your face. And as you go to spit out some, there is a very slight breeze, and some of it kind of blows back and kind of catches you in the face. You don't catch on fire or anything, but you do suffer one harm, and that harm's going to be a burn to the face. We'll say probably a 2nd degree. But I mean,
Does the armor take that?
It would take it. So, for the sake of the armor taking it, Marguerite, how does this manifest?
I feel like it's like you almost feel a layer of coolness, like not like moisture or anything, but just like a thin film surrounding your body.
Minty fresh.
You're minty fresh. Okay. So, as the flames kind of lick back against your face, you feel this feeling against you. You start to, and thankfully it takes the brunt of this, because a burn to the face sounds very painful. And we're going to go ahead and move on just for prosperity's sake to Marguerite.
I'm feeling very attacked right now.
I just want to address the tentacle and be like, this is not how you give guests a memorable experience. And I will take out my taser and jab it at it so I can try to get it to let Gray go.
All right, so are you rolling for break some femurs, or is there something else you would wish to use?
That seems like the move here, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, give me a roll plus wicked.
12.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh.
So remind me, the taser. I think the taser has a thing to it, doesn't it?
It's +1 harm.
Okay, so you have your +1 harm from your taser. And you got a 12. So for break some femurs, you can choose 2 different effects that can either be to inflict 1 harm, you can inflict an additional harm, you can choose to suffer less harm, you can physically force them. The list is actually on both the character sheet and on the Roll20, depending on which tab you want to go to. And you can also give them like shock and some other stuff too.
Break some femurs. Okay. I feel like inflict terrible harm could be good, but I also know that Gray is a little bit upset, so I think I'm gonna give +1 forward to Gray to cancel out the -1.
All right. So you go ahead and give that +1 forward to Gray. So go ahead and mark that Gray. And you do inflict. Now, since your taser does have a +1 and your break some femurs, you actually get 2 effects when you have that. So you inflict harm according to the rating of your weapon. So I'm actually going to say that you inflict 2 harm.
Okay.
because the one for physically like being able to attack it, but your taser's a little special, so it does an extra shock. So yeah.
That's my turn.
Cool. So that's going to move us to Kevin.
Question. Would it cost my turn to run back over to where the plasma cannon is?
So you, Kevin, you do know that this was originally supposed to be like an entryway, and you do see that it's like a gate. So I would say that you could roll a plus stout to try to climb it, to be able to use the cannon. And I'll let you do both on your turn, since it's such a short distance from you to that.
Okay.
If you're successful on your stout. If not, then it will take your turn to get over here.
Okay. So basically, Kevin is going to look at Marguerite and Dominic and just go, wait here, I got an idea. And then just run over to where that gap is to try to get to the plasma cannon and... Ooh.
That is an 8 though, and an 8 is technically one success, so it does take you a little bit of finagling, but you do manage to pull yourself up. And I will put you right there.
Okay.
And you are at the cannon.
So what I'm thinking is I'm going to try, Kevin's going to try to set up the plasma cannon to try to fire at the tentacle to basically drop Gray and possibly just retreat.
Okay, so you normally know that the cannons are basically just like laser lights that kind of like create like a stream of light. But it's worth a try.
I also got another question.
Huh?
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I also do you think Kevin's new skill could possibly be used to help, which is find beauty from within?
Yeah. If you want to try that as you shoot the laser, go ahead and roll me a... We're going to have you roll both the From the Beauty Within as like your quote unquote immediate action. Because this is like you're trying to do this. Roll... Okay, actually, here's how we can figure out if this will work. It's not technically in the rules, but we're going to do it anyway. Roll me a roll plus your sweet, and then depending on that, we'll add your wicked or not.
Okay, so plus 2. That's 10.
Okay, so I will allow you to add your wicked, but if it is a negative, we'll just say that it zeroes itself out. So
Okay.
for your Find the Beauty Within is basically when you want to quote-unquote engineer a miracle using whimsy, art, or some sort of theatrics or attention that can be used once, like Wish Upon a Star, but without accumulating twinkle. You can roll that plus sweet. So you're able to create the miracle as intended. Now, you are trying to inflict harm in this, correct?
Yes. And it would be like, because the halberd, well, because you mentioned like it would cancel out to be 0, it is a 5.
Now your halberd is if you're physically attacking with your halberd, that gives you the +1. So you're basically rolling to attack now with your thing, but you were trying to give it a boost. So with your 10 and plus, you can actually, I'm going to go ahead and allow it, that you're able to just make it work. So as you go to fire it, you fire it off and you're like expecting that it's not going to do anything. You're like, this is just a light. But as you fire it, it actually does seem to burn. It splits the tentacle in half, and the tentacle that was previously holding your friend is no longer a thing, and it just sort of drops them. And that is encounter over.
From the room, Marguerite and Gray can just hear Gray kind of just shout, "Oh my god, it actually worked!" Like just very excited shouts.
So, for the record, with those failures, I did earn enough experience to get another move.
Nice.
Yeah, since you did
Nice.
earn enough experience to get another move, because we're treating like experience as a bonus, go ahead and give yourself a move. So if you do get the max amount of experience, feel free. I will be right back real fast. Feel free to like role play this scene. I will be right back in 2 seconds.
I'm gonna check in with Gray. Are you okay?
I take a very long drink from the from the alcohol. Like, I've had better days, and most of them don't involve tentacles.
Yeah.
As it was going down, I just snapped a picture as I'm like falling. Is everybody else okay?
I'm fine. Kevin?
As you say that, Kevin is just squirming his way back out and is like, I'm good. Kind of feel very like happy that actually worked. So you two are all right?
Yeah?
Okay.
I shoved the bottle into my hoodie. I'm like, okay, so technically that was my first time doing it.
Yeah.
I know it, but I know what I did wrong.
It's complicated. I actually would. I never actually got up to the spitting of the fire part, but yeah.
I know a bunch of fire dancers and spitters.
It's complicated.
Yeah, it really is.
It's very complicated. So yeah, you managed to make your way. Yeah, so you make your way back out to the center area?
Yeah.
That's the wonderful thing about being a photographer, though, is street performers, if you take pictures of them and share them so they get more exposure, they tend to tell you how to do things.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so you all make it back out into the center hall, kind of like stepping over the severed tentacle. And I have a squirrel who wants to come back. Hello.
Ah, squirrel.
He's just gonna go over my shoulder. It's fine. He actually likes this. He's a weirdo. So you come back out into the hall. You see the way you came out, and you additionally see 2 splits. Like, we don't need to see that, sir. You basically see like this area here splits. Rude. So left or right?
Well, the map says to go left, so I'm going right.
You go right and you do find a dead end. That would normally lead to one of these machines here, but it does not because you don't need to worry about that. That one's up and running just fine. And roll 20 went work.
Is it, at any point, have we gone past like a service store or anything like that?
A service store? What? Why did you try to roll? Sorry, for some reason I went to reload the page because it was acting up, and it gave me a game that I played earlier today. I don't know. Thanks, Roll20. No, surprisingly, actually, there's not really like a service store per se.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye out for like a first aid kit or something.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we're gonna need that.
Sorry, he's a ham. he gets like this when I am in the desk. Anyway, so which direction are y'all heading when you go this way? Do you go this way or just? Well, this way's actually cut off, so you kind of have to go this way into the treasure area.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Chinese.
there's actually
Oh, no,
a
wait, that's
wall,
me.
as you see. I did think mostly. Yeah, so you enter the treasure area. There doesn't seem to be much going on here, but whew, this is intricate. You know, everything's super shiny, everything's super pretty. You see the different soldiers standing at attention, and you actually kind of just see them like swaying as if they're alive. But they're standing at attention.
That's not terrifying at all.
Yeah, let's move on past this.
Yeah, which way is move on?
Don't touch the treasure.
You can climb down here and go either this way or this way.
Can I move past these soldiers without them? Like, do they try to block me at all?
No, they don't. They like kind of as you pass, they actually do turn their heads to like follow you. But really they're there to guard the treasure, so if you don't did you grab any treasure?
No.
No.
Did anybody grab any treasure?
No.
My instincts proved correct.
I've watched Aladdin. I know what happens when you touch the treasure.
What?
I bought a choker at a Victorian style choker at the last ride, so I don't need any more jewelry.
Alright, cool. So you make your way here. As you head over to this area, you see some stairs that lead up to a wall. You see this area here that appears to be blocked off. And you see stairs leading up to here. And actually, I messed up where I put this. Thanks, Squirrel. You're making my life really complicated. Just hang out there for a second, okay? This is my
Head
cat.
up these stairs.
Ow. Child.
Itty bitty living space.
So you find yourself at the second of the 3 mechanisms. This one does take most of the room, so you kind of have to like shimmy past, just because they like putting obstacles in the way. It literally gives you just enough room that would like fit the fire safety codes, and like not an inch further.
Since you did it last time, Marguerite, I think it's fair that I be the one to put my hand on the crystal.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
You still want me to be the one that tries to figure out the puzzle?
Sure.
I mean, if you want to give it a shot, Marguerite, I'm not really picky.
Well, you were very successful the last time, so I think we should let you try it first, and if you can't get it, then I'll try myself.
And I got punished for that the next 3 times I had to roll.
Oh, yes.
And I'm going to say, well, at Druid's Dream World, all your dreams will come true. And try to paint with the colors of the wind again.
All right, roll me to paint with colors of the wind. That's
10.
a 10.
Nice.
So, gain experience and take +1 forward.
Yep, and for the sake of this game in particular, because we are, you know, in such a short session, we'll say that you get an experience as well, since you rolled so well.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you get +1 forward on that. That's
11.
an 11.
Nice.
Takes you just as, you know, you pretty much figure it out very, very quickly. And you don't have any issues. You do see a small little ledge that leads you out this way, and you see some stairs going this way. Both you and Marguerite. Kevin, you're a little bit behind them, so they're kind of in the way.
Hmm.
Do we want to go out to the ledge, or do we want to go down the stairs? Or up the stairs, whichever direction the stairs go.
I think that we'll probably get stuck if we go back the way we came, so why don't we try a new way?
Works for me.
Okay, so you come out here, you see water here. As you kind of peer into the water, while you, Kevin, and Marguerite know that typically this isn't very deep. It's just made to. Okay, I'm sorry, I won't put you down. It's just made to. It's just made to look deep. It actually doesn't seem to be that way. It actually, you see like these like clouds sort of swirling under, and how deep it is in reality as of right now, you're not entirely sure. So best not fall in the water. And as you sort of make your way around, there's obviously a wall here, but there are a series of docks here in this direction.
Is there any like clear way of
These are doors, right?
Yeah, these are doors.
Yeah.
These are doors. So, Dom, as you head over here, you actually see that the doors are closed, very, very tightly shut, and will not open if you attempt to do so. But there is a clear path in this direction.
Those are all very carefully moving along in a straight line.
Yeah, the docks are pretty narrow, and like while normally it would be pretty secure for guests, as you kind of step through, you feel it being a bit more shaky than usual. So as you kind of come around here and down, you do see a dip in a puddle of water, but you do see the third and final of the three mechanisms that you need to turn on in order to potentially reach the end of the ride.
Those two very large skeletons.
Yes.
I don't see the crystal on this one.
Could I get, sorry, I gotta put you down, buddy.
Oh no.
He's heavy. Both of my cats are kind of heavy. They don't look fat, but they're heavy. There is no crystal. However, you do see that there are, where there would normally be one machine, you do see two machines in place. So perhaps they have something to do with it.
What do you know about those machines, Kevin?
Oh god, I feel like there is something I can use.
You have you could do make a bare necessity, arguably, or you could do find the beauty from within, or you could also do like, actually you could additionally do, if you're looking at like your basic moves, you could do, excuse me, what do you intend to do?
Oh, could I use my move, find out what all this is?
Yes, actually you could. Because I was going to say the only other things you could do really, Kevin, were like either find something there wasn't there, or...
Yeah, I think honestly I was thinking of what Marguerite can do. Because I was thinking, like, isn't there something that, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
You
yes,
find
yes,
the
there
information
is.
you were looking for, and you can choose an additional effect. What do you guys think? You discovered a litany of information. All of your moves, as a result of this information, get a +1 forward, or the narrator reveals another secret that you were not looking for but is useful to the situation. I think the second one kind of applies the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get 2 of those.
Okay, so +1 forward and then litany of information. Or the secret, sorry.
The secret.
Another secret.
Okay, so you kind of scan the room, and while you don't see the crystal, you do see the 2 different machines. And as you're kind of just scanning, trying to figure it out, you actually see that this particular MSTT is rigged a little bit differently than the others, and has wires coming from this machine and this machine, sort of feeding up into it, whereas the other 2 were standing independently on their own.
Okay, so the wires are like relevant to fixing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So or like the machines are, since the wires are coming from the machines.
Well, one person can work on fixing that, and the other 2 can look at these machines.
That sounds like a good idea. Good idea. So, who wants to take what?
I mean, I'm maintenance guy, so guess the fixing it falls on me unless one of you guys want to do it.
I can't. I had trouble gluing back together a pan, so actually, in retrospect, it's probably a bad idea for me to use glue for that.
Yeah,
Okay.
kind of a bad idea to use glue for pans.
So basically, what this essentially means is there's going to be either a plus wise, or a move that you can justify from every single one of you. So essentially, each of you will stand at the various machines and do one of those 2 things. And again, if you can justify the move, I can, reason
Okay.
with it.
I'm just gonna.
Okay, so you're coming to this machine. Who's going here? To the main machine.
I'll try it out.
Alright. So that leaves you, Dominic, with this machine here.
I know I can only inspire one person with a quote at a time. So I want to try to inspire one by saying, if we have the attitude that's going to be a great day, it usually is. And
that
then
goes to
also,
Kevin.
okay, and then magic is believing in yourself.
That's a little bit better for Gray.
So I'll do.
I just don't see him having a can-do attitude first thing in the morning.
So this is for Kevin. On a 7, they take +1 forward. No experience, though.
Okay, so Kevin, you get a +1 forward. Let's go ahead and. Oh, okay. So and then you go to try to figure out the machine, which you're able to get working pretty quickly. You're able to kind of figure out the pattern of the lights that you need to press. But it is dependent on everybody else as well. So we're going to say, Kevin, what do you do to try to figure this out?
Would I be able to justify using make a bare necessity to try to get the machine up and working again? It still uses plus wise anyway, so.
Make a bare necessity. Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I would say so.
Okay, so our 2d6
plus your wise.
plus Y.
Really, that's attractive, dude. Nobody wants to see that. My cats are rude, everyone.
Oh no.
That's an 8. So you do get, you are able to create the miracle as intended and may negate harm or shock or re-roll a die, but an unintended consequence
You're
causes...
You're reading the wrong one,
I
Tay.
am reading the wrong one. Sorry. You got an 8 plus 1 armor plus 1 ward plus 1. So you get basically 1. Excuse me. Sorry. Your thing is like, because the bare necessity, so like squished and yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's okay. So you're able to do 1 of those. Are you trying to like get it to work, or are you just like, I'm gonna hit this thing until it cooperates with me?
I'm gonna try to get it to work.
Okay, so it takes you a little bit longer, but you are eventually able to tinker to make it kind of up and running. It kind of like chugs to life, and it's brum, 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 brrr, and it starts like humming, and the sound kind of echoes off of the walls. And that brings us over to Dominic. What are you doing to try to get this going?
Well, Dominic doesn't have a move that'll work.
There are basic moves as well, so that's a thing.
But also, it's just plus Ys, right?
Yeah, you can do a plus Ys if you don't want to use the move.
Ys is actually his best stat.
Oh, there you go. That's a 10.
Nice.
So, yeah.
In his wisdom, he just kicks it and it starts working.
Yeah, so you kick this little machine, and it's kind of like, you know, like a various like series of gears, and it's kind of comes up, and it almost looks like a Tesla coil, like a very small Tesla coil, and you're like, I'm gonna kick it. And while that would normally be incredibly dangerous, for some reason it works just fine for you. You kick it, it hums to life, and you watch as little sparks of blue electricity kind of go to the center of the ball. And you hear as, you know, this, you hear as all 3 of these machines sort of seem to hum in a 3-part harmony, like at that 1, 3, 5. Yeah, so they kind of like hum in harmony with one another. And you watch as they seem to like, the static builds, and you watch as these bright blue streams sort of shoot up in the sky above you, and create this triangular effect. And it hums to life, and it seems to power something that is behind the door. And you watch Marguerite, I will go ahead and say that, like, as everything kind of hums to life, the machine is kind of vibrating, and you watch as a key sort of like shakes free and falls before your feet.
Cool. I'm gonna grab the key and look for a place to put it somewhere. Or is it a key for the door?
It's just a key. Could be a key for the door, could not.
Does the machine is working though, right?
Yeah, so basically it's like creating like a little triangle like above you. You see the thing shoot up, and then it creates like this like triangular thing, and then you watch as the prism sort of like beam down to something that's behind the door.
Cool. Well, excellent work. We've got this now.
I guess to the door.
It's the key to the whole enterprise.
Might as well give it a try.
I
mean, generally, that's what happens when you finish the puzzles, that you can get through the doors.
Yeah.
So
I'm not making an RPG reference at all. Alright, so you make it through the door. Do you try to insert the key?
Yeah.
Alright, so as you insert the key, the door unlocks. The door sort of like creaks open. And as the door creaks open, you actually see in the center, like the doors sort of like open by themselves, opening up a pathway. And as the doors open, you see the entire monstrosity arise from the depths underneath, sort of trying to vie and grab you. They're kind of reaching for the water. So, what do?
Well, now I'm thinking this time Dominic does make a Molotov. But aim for the mouth.
Yeah, I mean, the doors open the path. It's not in the path, but it's like right next to y'all.
I want to try to fill the world with sunshine and use some magical energy to attack it.
Okay, so we have one person wanting to do a Molotov, one person to want to fill the world with sunshine. Who wants to go first? Out of the two of y'all, I mean.
I'll go.
Okay, yeah, you go.
All right, fill our world with sunshine.
8.
That is
so,
an 8, so it does work.
It does work. Magical energy blasts from my fingertips and strikes the Kraken, causing +1 harm.
Okay, wonderful. So you go ahead and how does that magic manifest? Like, is there a particular look you have in mind?
I imagine it's just like this dark gray, almost black, like energy that kind of shimmers a little bit.
Okay, wonderful. So you go ahead and you kind of like do the magical girl like blast, and you watch as it like the tentacle that's sort of writhing up towards you all. You blast it in the direction of that, and you hear just this loud and it pulls its tentacle back into the water as if to try to cool it down. Let's go ahead and move on to you, Dominic. You're doing a thing.
So is the mouth still exposed?
Yes, it is actually screaming in pain.
I'm going to try and I'm basically going to tear off a strip of my hoodie to use as the, what is the word I'm looking for? Fuse?
Yeah.
On the
Fuse.
Molotov?
Like the wick.
Yeah. I'm going to stuff that into the bottle and light it. And I'm going to try and throw the Molotov directly into the mouth. Give it the worst kind of heartburn.
I think that's going to fall under break some femurs. So give me that roll. Plus wicked.
Yep, 0. Okay.
And remember, you do have a +1 forward if you choose to use it. Up to you.
Yeah, I'll add that +1 on.
Okay.
I mean, it's still going to be the same result, but...
Okay, so that goes ahead and adds it to an 8. However, I would say that, you know, flaming bottle of very, very, very high proof alcohol is pretty effective because it does say, based off of the, you know, rating of your weapon. So it kind of creates an explosive effect. So I'm going to be nice and say that it does a +3 harm because that's some high proof alcohol. So you watch as it sort of like starts to kind of gasp for like, you know, this is a creature of the water. It sort of needs that, and you've basically dried out its esophagus and, you know, what have you, and you watch as it sort of tries to slowly slink beneath the water. So you do have a bit of a clearance. It's not dead, but it is trying to kind of like recuperate from the damage. So with that being said, Kevin, is there anything that you would like to do?
Is that a cannon on the end of the ship?
There are cannons.
Oh, is there?
You do see the ship at this point. There are harpoons. There's a cannon here. There's cannons at the end here. And again, it is slinking under the water to try to like recuperate. And it seems to be like almost stunned right now. So you don't have to necessarily attack. You could just choose this path over here is clear. It's not in the way of any of y'all.
I think Kevin's gonna look at it too and be like, "Do you want to try to shoot at it again, or do you want to just run?"
We can try to run, although its tentacles are pretty long. It might be able to catch us before we get away.
Hmm.
I mean, there's cannons on the ship.
Yeah,
That's
that's true.
Maybe I'll try to keep it busy while one of you or both of you goes to the cannons.
All right, just stay safe.
Okay, so are one or both of you going to the cannons?
Yeah, Kevin's gonna try to run over to the cannons.
Okay.
I'll go to a cannon too.
Yeah, so as you all sort of like run down the pier, you see it's sort of stunned. Marguerite, how far back are you holding yourself? Are you going part of the way down here, or are you staying by the door?
I'll just move back here. I know I'm still probably within reach of it, but I want it to like focus on me anyway.
Okay. So what do you do to try to like keep it? It is stunned, so keep that in
It's
mind.
stunned.
Yeah.
Okay. If I attack it, will it become unstunned?
You can't be entirely sure. But there's a possibility, like it could go 50-50.
Okay, then I am going to try to manifest some armor for us and wait for now. While it's stunned, just to be ready to distract it.
Okay. So as you sort of like are ready to distract it, you're getting ready to cast your spell. You Kevin and Dom, you rush onto the ship, and he's like, you actually see Captain
Alexander?
Alexander. I was trying to think of his first name. You actually see Dom. You actually see Captain Alexander before you. He's the skeletal figure. His face is sort of like covered in an actual octopus. But he says, "All aboard! Who's coming aboard? We're taking off in approximately 30 seconds."
I hear that, and Marguerite does not run, but Marguerite sprints to join the boat.
Sprints, but with dainty.
Daintily sprints. Okay, so you manage to sprint your way onto the boat at the last moment, and as you sort of reach the boat, it's almost like I'm coming to like a narrative end here. You manage to reach on the boat just as the Kraken is coming to life. Kevin and Dom, you are both able to man various weapons and sort of like fire as you watch this skeletal crew sort of, pump up. You watch as the air balloon floats up. You watch as, the wings sort of unfurl, and the propeller and all of that, and you watch as it slowly starts to rise out from below, just in time for the Kraken to start to reach for it. You two are able to start taking aim and firing towards it. You hear this horrific shriek of just as it sort of like falls in the air at your cannon fodder. And as you rise above, we will say that you, Dominic, you hear, well, isn't that just a lovely turn of events? I'm sure Rosie herself didn't even expect that tonight. Well, I'm sure all of you are here to serve her, so I hope that you all stay safe, and I'm glad that you made it aboard me ship. I'll take you back up to safety so you can serve the rabbit herself. And I will say with that, we will go ahead and end tonight's session of Rise of Rosie. So,
Kill the wabbit stuck in my head now.
Kill the wabbit. Kill the wabbit.
Yeah. Everybody, I've had a lot of fun. I hope all of my players have had a lot of fun. And to those who have been watching this evening, I hope you have enjoyed yourself as well. We will be back next Saturday evening, the day before Halloween, to conclude our wonderful adventure of Happiest Apocalypse on Earth, Rise of Rosie at Druid's Dream World next week at the same time, same place. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, everyone, and I will go ahead and do my plugs after our players go ahead and say farewell this evening. And we are going to start with let's start with the Tired By. Who are you? Who have you been playing? And I hope you had fun this evening. Is there any particular moment that you enjoyed in particular?
Say threateningly.
Hi, I am a Tired By. I did have a lot of fun. This was amazing, and my favorite part was when Kevin did a badass and shot a laser cannon through a tentacle, and also at the end when he and Dominic were able to just utterly annihilate the Kraken.
Yeah, this is great. Wonderful. And is there anything you would like to plug?
Coming this Thursday, you can see me again over on the Undead K's channel, where we play Curse of Strahd Barovian Days. And there I am Zatari, the ASMR bard, who is not as happy as Kevin, but she is relatively happy. She has a lot of trauma.
And she has a ghost possessing her. Wonderful. Is that it for now, friendo?
Yeah, this was super fun, and also another thing I really liked was also all of the Druid quotes.
I know. Oh my god, I loved those. I'm so happy you came up with those, Star. All right, so moving right along, I guess we'll go ahead and actually jump over to Star since your wonderful, incredible quotes have come up this evening. Who are you? Who have you played? And is there anything in particular you would like to plug or a favorite moment that you would like to discuss?
I'm Star. I've been playing Marguerite today, and you can find me on the internet at MadRadStarChild. I will be streaming Sleepaway, a GM-less horror game on this channel on Monday. And then I stream a Cthulhu Dark Rules Light version on So Maddie Games every other Monday. I will be in a Call of Cthulhu game on that channel on Thursdays coming up, and also a Ravenloft D&D game on Tuesdays. And I will be back here next Saturday.
I know, right? I'm just sitting here and I'm like, ooh, the
Call of
wonderful.
Cthulhu, Ravenloft.
I love all of those games. All right. I'm totally not jealous at all. So moving right along, let's go ahead and introduce conclude with our final player of the evening. Rain Dust, who are you? Who have you been playing? Is there any particular moment of this game you would like to highlight this evening before we depart?
I am Rain Hayes, and I have nothing else going on. You can find my stuff on DM's Guild. I'm going to plug that until it's unpluggable. Other than that, my favorite point of the night was probably failing to do a badass with the alcohol.
Oh, you had such a good idea in mind, too. I really wanted it to work out for you. I really did.
I had this whole backstory thing where he was a photographer that met a bunch of fire dancers and they liked him, so they taught him how how to do various fire
Yeah.
dancing things.
Sometimes the dice just have like other things in mind. I get it. But again, absolutely recommend checking out some of Rain's stuff because I've played around with some of that, like even way back when, and it's great. So if you like looking at homebrew stuff, check out Rain's stuff on DM's Guild. Anywho, I have been Kay, also known as Undead K, your Undead GM words for this evening. It has been an absolute pleasure to host this game over on Nerds with Dice. I'm super happy to be here. This has been so much fun so far, and I can't wait to hit the conclusion. I can't wait, but also I'm not ready because I want this to like keep going. So maybe we'll see in the future if there's a thing I can maybe do. But this has been an absolute blast. You can actually find... Well, first, let's talk about Nerds with Dice before I talk about myself, because Nerds with Dice has been so wonderful is to allow me to do this. So let's talk about their stuff first. So, first off, you can actually purchase merchandise for Nerds with Dice as of right now by going to the link that I just put into the chat. They have t-shirts, they have various other little like doodads and that sort of thing, you know, like clothing stuff, and it is absolutely great. There's a few different options as of right now. There may very well be more options in the future as more shows come out, and I absolutely 100% recommend taking a look at that sort of a thing. And additionally, Nerds with Dice is now an affiliate of the Grinding Coffee Company House, a Black and LGBTQIA plus independent coffee company. And if you use the link that I have just posted in the chat below, you can actually go ahead and get 10% off of their coffee by using the link in the chat. And finally, I have been Kay, also known as Undead K. I am here on Tuesdays. Hopefully, we will be starting back up here. Hopefully next week. Hopefully, I've got my fingers crossed with the Kingdom Hearts Dreams of Nobody game. It's just unfortunately real life keeps happening. So hopefully that's a thing in the near future. And you can also find me on my own channel every other Thursday, currently running Curse of Strahd Barovian Days. We are on episode 28 as of next week. And you might be a little bit behind on some of the story. However, they haven't actually done the main quest, so if it's something you're interested in, definitely recommend checking that out. And since I now have my PC back, I can do Twitch streams on my own channel, so keep an eye on twitch.tv/undeadk for that sort of stuff, because I do plan on streaming some of the spoopy games because I like the scaries. And you can also find me various other places, such as the Nerds with Dice Discord, that you can join by going to the About Me section. And you can also just find me on Twitter at K_undead. So, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out tonight. I've had an absolute blast, and I hope you have done the same.
We also need to do a raid.
Yes, I am going to attempt to do that. Hopefully I am able to do that this week. We shall see. But on that note, everybody, stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourself, and we are going to attempt to raid Devil's Luck Gaming, because I do see that they're currently live. We're gonna give it a try. It depends on if I have mod status, if it works. So let's give it a try.
And if it doesn't work, then just head on over there if you're interested.
Unfortunately, it does not work, but just yet. However, it does look like they're running a tabletop game. If I can share, I don't even know if I can share the link. But if you go to twitch.tv /Devil's Luck Gaming, like that, it looks like they're running a game as of right now. Unfortunately, I tried to raid, but it doesn't look like I have those permissions just yet, so I don't know. We'll get it figured out next time. Anywho, everybody stay safe, stay healthy, do something kind for yourself, and do something nice for yourself this evening, because you freaking deserve it. Farewell.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.